speaking of the occupied Kashmir territory. People, including students of different education institutions, staged massive anti-India demonstrations, while the Indian police used brute force against the protesters and caused injuries. Call for the demonstrations was given by the Joint Resistance Leadership comprising Sayyid Ali Gilani, Mirwaiz Umar Farooq and Muhammad Yasin Malik to protest against the worst kind of state terrorism unleashed by the Indian forces on students across the Kashmir Valley. Over 100 students were injured, some of them critically due to the use of brute force by the Indians in uniform on protesting students during the past 1 week. The puppet authorities deployed Indian troops and police personnel in strength across the territory to prevent further protests. However, people, including students, took to the streets in Srinagar, Dadgam, Gandarbal, Sapur and other areas. The demonstrators raised high-pitched pro-freedom, pro-Pakistan and anti-India slogans. They also waved Pakistani flags. Intense clashes between protesters and the Indian police erupted in many areas after police personnel fired tear gas shells to disperse them. Several demonstrators were also injured. The puppet authorities also suspended class work in schools and colleges to stop students from holding protests. Now, India cannot crush the freedom struggle of Kashmiris. This was stated by Mushal Malik, spouse of Hurriyat leader, during the Oxford lecture in Islamabad. More in the following report by our special correspondent, Raza Khan.
Oxford Cambridge Society organized a special lecture in Islamabad on Kashmir issue by Mushal Malik, spouse of Hurriyat leader Yasin Malik. Mushal Malik spoke about the human rights violations in Kashmir at the hands of Indian security forces, which have resulted in thousands of Kashmiris being killed and thousands maimed. She stressed the need for international community to pressurize India to give right of self-determination to Kashmiris.
The theme was my personal experiences, how close it is to my soul and heart. I have not seen my husband for the past 3 years because the so-called democratic state of India has not allowed me the permit or the visa to travel to my homeland, Srinagar, and they have banned Yasin to travel here. He is treated like a terrorist, and so are the other Hurriyat leaders. So expressing my own divided family and the thousands of other divided families, I'm representing their case to the audience over here and telling them to raise the voice democratically for the Kashmiri people.
Ishadullah Khan, Secretary General of Oxford Cambridge Society, summed up the lecture on Kashmir.
What is happening in Kashmir is evil, profoundly evil. And the Pakistan Army, which is a fantastic Pakistan Army, is the only way that eventually we will achieve peace in Kashmir. Because the threat of war is what will eventually bring the Indians down to their senses.
Pakistani and foreign diplomats, members of legal fraternity and civil society, as well as people from various walks of life were present on the occasion.
It is time that the world community listens to the voice of Kashmiris who are suffering daily cruelties at the hands of Indian security forces. This was the sum up of a special lecture given by Mushal Hussain Malik here in Islamabad. Raza Khan, PTV World, Islamabad.